He spit the button
He bit a
fast
button
enough.
off a puppet and spit it out to knock the gold coin up in the air, keeping the button on the trajectory that the coin was on, sucks the coin back in using his lungs, and then manages to just, yeah, walk away.
So if Hi, hello, this is Jules the Human here, and welcome to the Jules and Anime Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Jules the Human, and every week we go out into the world and watch a little bit of anime, and then we come back here and talk about it. And today we are talking about MASHLE for the second time. We're talking about episode 5 through 8 of MASHLE, Magic and Muscles, and we still have so many anime to go. We've been doing this for almost 100 episodes now, and we still got more coming. If you like to add an anime to the list of our anime chest, a $5 super chat on YouTube or 500 bits on Twitch. Get your anime, whatever you choose, as long as not sussy or anything. We'll put it in there and we'll rank it. We've been ranking a lot of anime here in season 2. We've done so many S's and A's, and where will Mashal end up? Who knows? But it's not just me. I'm here with my co-host Matt Galley. Matt, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing really good. Like I was just telling you before we got started here, I just went to the chiropractor for the first time yesterday ever, and that was like life changing. Can't wait to go back. Feeling decompressed and realigned.
Are you any stretchier? Have you found?
I'll let you know in like a week.
Okay, we'll see. We'll come back for the stretchy updates.
But with our show this week, Mashal, like I explained last time, this is a rewatch for me, and I definitely was worried about like the rewatchability of this show, due to the like nature of it being more of like, kind of like a satirical comedy, that's like what my brain remembers it largely as. But the further we get into it, I'm like pleasantly reminded that like, oh yeah, the show like is kind of satirical in its comedy, but it's also telling its own story and like doing its own narrative beats that you can't really draw one-to-ones on particularly, even though it's like, oh, that's kind of like this every so often that you can kind of like, draw a
Yeah.
comparison. But I am enjoying kind of like, reintroducing myself to the story that this series has going on, because it's like it does kind of like, by the end of this set of episodes I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I was so hyped for this. Like
Yeah,
and I'm
definitely.
hyped
And it
for it
kind of
again.
it kind of leaves it off on a cliffhanger. And I understand your apprehension a little bit because this a lot of the well, not a lot, there are a portion of the gags in this anime that are more slapstick in nature, and like if you do a rewatch of it, it's like, okay, that was funny the first time, but now it's like, okay, whatever. But I like what you were saying, that it's really the characters and stuff, like they don't spend so much time on it. It's there with that slapstick sort of comedy, but I'm loving these characters as well because it's my first time watching, and I think I have a new favorite boy in the group. I'll let you know who that is coming up. Oh, I gotta let you know. Okay. But yeah, we're talking about Mashal episode 5 through 8. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back, or yeah, just go through it with us. Episode 5, Mash Bernadette and the unpopular classmate. What happens in episode 5?
The dorm rivalry that occurs at Easton Academy is explained before Lance attempts to help Finn and Mash with potion making, leading Mash to enrage a Mandragora. House Lang is shown to be after the coins of the other houses, and Dot is introduced as we enter the Dark Forest to hunt magical scorpions for coins. Mash is singled out by a Lang dorm member named Silva before Dot is charmed by a girl who seems to be in distress because of Silva, Dot vowing to kick his butt just as Silva approaches, overhearing the conversation.
Ooh, it's about to go down. Also, hello everybody watching live on Twitch or YouTube. Gemini says, I only watched up to episode 5 months ago and dropped it. Wonder if you'll convince me to watch further. I'm curious why you stopped at episode 5. What made you stop? Was it like the comedy was a little or like what was going on? We would love to hear it. But we get the 3 dorms for sure now. Adler, Orca, and Lang. They're the 3 houses, and I love I'm
Give
loving
me
these.
faction warfare, bro.
Yes,
I'm always
definitely.
here for like this faction stands for these values and this step faction stands for these values. And I know we're in a more lighthearted comedy setting or whatever, but still, I just love that idea that these different like bodies are encompassing these different things.
And they made it super simple because we
Yeah,
only have 12 episodes of
exactly.
the first season. So it's like 3 houses. You already know it from that other thing. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool. Now we don't have to worry about Orca. They're just chilling, doing their thing. Lang versus Adler. Here we go. I'm down. And I also love that room 302 is just like a chill hangout spot that everybody just comes to hang in their room for some reason. So Lance is there. Lance is the top student, we find out. And we get sort of something we may have seen from the other thing as well, the Mandragora. This was funny. I liked it. It was good. Cooking class, I'm cool with that. It seems like Mash has like these cooking skills that we don't really like touch on, but he's just
Well, yeah, yeah. But the thing is that no matter what he does, he makes cream puffs.
yes. So
So,
really like
and Lance is like, I literally watched you do that step by step, telling you exactly what to do. How did it become a
and
cream
then it's
puff?
just poof, there it is. I love it.
That shit's just like num 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 num.
I think Kayla made a good said a good thought while watching this. Like, oh, it makes sense that he's eating cream puffs a lot because he uses a lot of his calories for all the stuff that he does
Do
with
cream puffs have a
muscles and
lot of
stuff.
calories?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, they're carbs. Carbs give you energy. So yeah, technically they do, but
Yeah, even at one point he does something. I don't remember if it was in this set or the last set, but he does something at a certain point. He's like, "Look at those harmless, poor calories you made me waste. I'll never get
yeah,
those back." And that also explains why he's normally just so chill and nonchalant when he's doing anything not related to exercising. Because he's like, "I don't want to waste calories. I could be
that
using
makes
those to
sense.
exercise."
It makes sense that he doesn't want to waste the calories. You're right. Now I didn't make that connection. Now I do. He's super chill. He's smarter than all of us. Oh my god.
He
Is
broke
this
the
me?
code.
Cuz I'm like this. I'm just super chill all the time cuz I'm like I'm going to conserve my energy. Wow. I didn't even think Mash was that smart. So good.
He's
Um
playing the long con.
we get a taste of Langdorm a little bit. And from what we know, I don't know if we find out in this episode, but I'll say it here. Lord Abel, I think is their
Yes,
name. I think what I caught their name from.
Lord Abel.
So the more they show of these people of Langdorm and their cool ass robes, I'm like, hold on, man. Would I have been in Langdorm? Because like Slytherin was cool. Okay, Slytherin was fine, but like you can't tell me those guys were like cool. Like they weren't cool. They tried to be cool, but they were just bullies.
Mhm.
This dude I can get behind. This dude I would fight for some coins for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think inherently one of the problems with like not problems, but like one of the things that sets this largely apart from the other thing is that in the other thing, we're introduced to the setting through the lens of 10-year-olds. Here,
Mm,
we're being introduced through the lens of like 16 and 17-year-olds. So it's
sure.
just like the disposition of like the cool factor as these other dorms are being introduced and what they can do with that with coming in at a high school level instead of a middle school level. I feel like there's a lot more room for like let's just put them in cool cloaks because why not?
Bro, if I
But
was in Langdorm and they gave me that furry cloak, I'd be like, I'm Langdor for life. Hell yeah. Let's get those coins. Fuck
and
everybody else.
I don't think it's explained yet, but we do eventually get the information that like, all the upper years are at different they're like on a internships and stuff. So like
Yeah,
right
they
now it's like
mention
all
it.
the first years on campus only or something like that. And it's
Mhm.
just like in my brain, I'm just like, yeah, only first years on campus. You have this dorm, Lang dorm, and they just have this like chapel in the middle of the campus
Mhm.
with the puppets and like
It's just
this
happening, bro.
is it like who's paying for this, the PTA? Like what's going on? Where's Adler's dorm
I
chapel,
mean,
man?
yeah. maybe
it just
like
it just brings into question, like, where is this happening in the school, and is this a recorded like room being used for this
sure.
room? Like, oh, Langdorm has the multi-purpose room signed for this time. Do they go in there and set everything up and then have to pull it all down? What's
I
going
th-
on in there?
I think it's because Langdorm bloodline. This is totally me just fantasizing. Langdorm bloodline. These are the most powerful and richest people, the top class, whatever. So once they get out of Langdorm, they go into these higher positions of power. They have money. They donate to the school to keep Langdorm's big castle portion. They're like, I'm gonna donate, and this wing is my wing. So whatever. So that's what I'm thinking. Gemini says comedy didn't hit for me, I think. LOL. I like the magicless at the magic school premise though. And that's valid. I mean, it is a little silly, a little bit. And at times I do wish MASH was a little bit more fleshed out, but in this episode and in episode 6, I fall in love with a whole other character. And speaking of Dot, we meet Dot Barrett, red hair kid, first year. He's got main character energy. He has aura, bro. I was like, okay, whatever at first, but by the end of the first 4 or these 4 episodes, I was like, Dot, man, this is
Dot's your
so dope.
favorite? That's your guy?
Dot's my guy. I was like, oh, when he does those X bombs, bro. So wait,
He
they
has a cool
have
wand.
he does have a cool
Like
one.
his house looks like all like a little mini mace almost.
Mm-hmm.
I like how each of them has, like, their little different, like, takes on the wands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the books of the other thing, it does, like, it describes very thoroughly how, like, everybody's wands like a specific length and made out of a specific thing, and no two wands are the same because no two feathers or no two whatever are the same and stuff. So it's I like the small attention to details that the show kind of continues to use to show that, like, there is thought and attentiveness going into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I do have questions now that we're seeing more people with magic because now we meet the silver-haired kid who has 2 stripes named Silva, and he attacks Mash, and he has these powers that we're going to get into next episode. But then we also have the girl that was magicking Dot a little bit, and she's using a spell to make him fall in love with her. So now I have questions about magic here, and they don't explain it, but it's okay. But my question is like, so you can learn basic spells, but your magic power will eventually lean to one thing, sort of. So
I
everybody
think
has a
that's where they get
specialty.
yeah, I think that's where kind of like they use Lance explaining the Mash has never faced a red magic user before, and
Mm-hmm.
Lance is a red magic user. Where, like, each yeah, like that, like there's probably a bunch of general purpose stuff. And then each person probably, like, it's there's a couple lines that, like, allude to that. It's like, oh, this family is famous for, like, having this type of magic, and it
Mm-hmm.
might be that, like, only that family has access to that style of magic, a la something like maybe even like Black Clover, where, like, everybody can fly on a broom, right? But, like, everybody's grimoire is different, and
Mm-hmm.
the spells in your grimoire are decided as you, like, grow up and evolve as a magic user. That's how I would imagine it happening. Just there is no physical grimoire to represent it in this
Yeah,
case.
I feel that. Hello Claire and hello Cosmo. Cosmo said Pappy, Jules, and Zaddy Galley educate me on anime.
I drink. I don't have my
I'm drinking my water with
empty.
all my little anime stickers I put on. Ooh, look at these boys. Bwomp. So cool. Um, so we get Silva, we get Dot Barrett. Uh Dot saved the girl. Did we get her name? Because
We don't, like. I don't think we get her name, but she has a name, and it's Lauren.
oh, okay. Lauren. Yeah, the English dub didn't have it. So Lauren, Dot saves Lauren, and he can't handle women. So that's kind of his crux thing, and that's definitely like one of the main characters in the group energy, where there's always that one guy that is just whether it's good or bad, either he's weird with women or he's shy or he, in this case has main character energy and wants to save the girls. And that's cool, I guess. That's part of Dot that I don't like the most. I like how badass he gets, which is pretty dope. Does the anime have logs crushing people? No, log count at 0 for this one, definitely. So he's using a spell for Dot to fall in love with her, but he didn't need much help. And then it gets into Silva versus Dot here at the very end, and I'm hyped for this. So Dot uses X Blom, and then we get into episode 6, Mash Bernadette and the Magic of Iron. What happens in episode 6?
Dot strikes a deal with Silva in an attempt to save Lauren from danger, then going on to take 10 attacks from Silva. Afterwards, Lauren reveals that she was friends with Silva the whole time and had never had any interest in Dot. Lance explains to Lemon and Finn how Mash has never faced a red mage user yet, which Silva is a double line red mage. Silva proclaiming that he and Mash are on different levels, just as Mash destroys his magic and sends him flying with a single punch. After a second, Mash decides to concede as he feels bad for Silva, just as he suplexes Lauren, who was also in on it. Dot decides to make nice with Mash as Lance explains how Mash was most likely targeted, just as his coins combine to make one gold coin. The sorting unicorn is shown to sort Mash with a leap of logic just before we see Langdorm turning Silva into a puppet for failing, and Mash waltzing right in on them, pulling the door off the hinges.
Oh, never mind. They're suplexing, bro. I gotta go back to that image. It happened so fast. I didn't see her eyes in this. This is a perfect screen capture with a oof there. I love that. Look at her, not expecting it. Um, what is that?
Amazon delivery.
Delivery. Silva bets a silver coin, says that he can survive 5 magic hits. He'll leave. Dot has resolved to save the girl, and he takes 10 hits. I like Dot because he is just generic main character, sort of, when Mash isn't. And I'm glad that they filled that role there because I didn't know I was missing it, but I did need this guy here. He has the resolve of a main character, and I'm gonna do it. And he's
exactly.
holding out against Silva, taking those attacks, and I was
exactly.
like,
Because again, it's like, the situation calls for, what's the solution? Oh, Mash just takes care of it. But no, like, how can we make it so that way, like, Mash isn't immediately gonna just take care of the solution? And Mash, like, tries to step in, but Dot's like, nope, you're not allowed. This is not your problem. And Mash doesn't argue at all. He's like, I feel like internally Mash is like, I can tell this guy cares a lot about this. So
he's like, whatever, bro. I mean, you care about it. That's cool. Whatever.
Exactly.
Lance, like you were saying, addresses the difference between white mages, red mages, and red mages are usually double liners. And Mash uses triceps magic for ballistic knuckle, bro. He's naming his moves. I love it. It's so good. I love Mash. He bashes Silva's magic, and Mash ends up beating Silva. And then just super chill. Like you're saying, Mash can just defeat whatever right now. And they're like, oh my God, that's the Star Scorpion that has a bunch of coins. And he just knocks it into fucking next week.
I'm busy.
Yeah,
I'm busy. Flick. And I love how this, like, for a second, you're just like, oh, but that's like a lot of coins. And then the star, like, comes back down to the ground. And you're just like,
oh, okay.
like,
oh, he got them. There they are.
Secured the bag.
And then immediately just suplexes Lauren here. And what does he say after where he's
Don't
like,
worry, I treat everyone equally.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess she was being kind of a bee, but like, I don't know, Mash. Maybe don't suplex her. But whatever. It's done.
It goes right along with, the whole grabs the person bullying Finn and smashes his face into the ground and
Yeah,
then buries the vice principal. Like he doesn't care.
we gotta get a mash smash count. Like, how many people has mash smashed already? That's like
Does
4.
ripping the clothes off of the cop twice count?
If it only happened once,
I love
no,
that I still can't
but
get over how the same shot, same angle, same like reaction, except his cheeks are all puffy, I think, because he
yeah.
already got slapped.
If it happened once, no, but since it happened twice, yes. That
There we
counts
go. There
as
we go.
a mash smash.
We'll get the counter up there later.
He has Matt smashed. Are you talking about Yali or the anime? No comment. So the war for coins against Lang, we get the Magia Lupus, and Magia Lupus is 7 deadly students that want to become divine visionary, and Lord Abel, apparently the man we saw earlier, has 3 stripes.
He's a
3 stripes
triple
on his.
line magic user.
I like that because they're like 1 line is
Yep.
good, but 2 lines is better. And then it's like,
This
well,
guy
this
has
guy,
3.
yeah, pretty much. And I'm cool with that. Whatever. Have somebody with tons of lines on their face.
Yeah.
Let's
And
bring it up.
it sounds like, on paper, it's just like, yeah, sure, they have more lines, they have more magic, but it just like for me, like when you sound it out, it just sounds pretty cool, you know? Oh, that's a double line red magic user. Oh, that's a triple line red magic user. What
And
is,
he's the first one. Yeah, definitely. He's the
Yeah,
first one that we know of. Before this, we didn't even know this was a thing.
correct.
But we get introduced to like the main bad guys who are taking over and trying to get as many coins as they can. Magia Lupus, and it's 7 students, but only one's going to become the. What's the thinking here that Langdorm is working together to have at least one of their people become divine visionary over the other 2 houses? Because even if it's not, let's say I'm in Magia Lupus, but I'm like number 7. But even though I'm not going to be divine visionary, I would rather have it from someone from Langdorm
Yes,
than the other 2
because
dorms.
we don't want the we don't want the mudbloods to be, and sorry, oops, we don't want, there's a very specific type of person that we want to be that, and there's a whole group of people who we don't want to be that. So we're all going to work together to ensure that we completely take everything from them so that they don't even deserve the chance. They don't deserve to have their hands on gold coins. We'll take everything. Even if we have a lead, we're still going to go out and take more.
They don't have the blood. They don't have the right blood for it.
Yep.
We get this little cutscene sort of about the sorting. What was it? Sorting
The sorting
unicorn.
unicorn.
Uh, that was okay. I can see if you're like watching and it's like, all
It's
right,
like,
come on.
sure, check the box real quick, but why are we doing it now? Like,
Why are we
and
doing it now in
like
episode 6?
the bit itself wasn't as funny to me as like the rest of the guys going, "Oh, that was MASH."
Yeah.
Like that's funny to me, but like the entire flashback taking out, like, the whole segment felt a little
It was a little
long-winded.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little long for this unicorn to be like, he only thinks about cream puffs. What do I do? And it's building it up for like such a small payoff. I was like, okay, whatever. Lord Abel turns Silva into a puppet, and he has a ton of puppets. And while Mash is just there, he doesn't realize if it's a push or pull door. Once again, I like this running joke that he just doesn't remember which doors do, what doors do, how doors
What
work.
that door do?
And he walks into the meeting of the Magia Lupus. And that I like that they keep giving us like little cliffhangers. Like, I'm down for that. Just
The show's set up into the next one very well, where if you have any interest in it, you're gonna know whether or not you want to keep watching. And I found this
Mhm.
first season to be very bingeable, as something that like me and my roommate, like we both were kind of into it. So it's just like, you want to watch another one? Yeah, let's watch another one.
It's
When I
really
first watched it about a year ago.
Mhm. So Mash actually accidentally goes into Lang Dorm, and we get into episode 7, Mash, Bernadette, and the Puppet Master. What happens in episode 7?
Mash manages to irk Abel, the Langhouse prefect, who attempts to take his golden coin, and Mash manages to keep the coin and escape with Silva in tow, taking him to the infirmary. Mash regroups with everyone at his room, where Lemon then takes everyone out to explain how Lang is propelling ahead in the race for coins. Mash and company set out to acquire more coins. More cronies from Lang attempt to attack Mash and Lance while they're cleaning out the Owl Hut, and the Adlers make quick work of their competition. However, someone comes to collect their fallen Lang comrades and is able to avoid an attack from Mash. Not unscathed, however.
Ooh, buddy, this is where it gets good.
Ooh,
I like
we're
this.
the same.
What does it mean? So Mash ends up fighting the puppets in the beginning. This one had a lot of action, like
Hmm.
right off the bat. We get Mash fighting the puppets. They try to steal his gold coin. Mash does the switch with the coin and the button, and they've done this before, and they're gonna keep doing it where something happens. You don't know how it happens, but one person does, and then
One
they
person's like,
explain
I
it.
can't believe I just saw what I saw.
Yeah.
This is what I saw.
He spit the button
He did a
fast
button
enough.
off a puppet and spit it out to knock the gold coin up in the air, keeping the button on the trajectory that the coin was on, sucks the coin back in using his lungs, and then manages to just, yeah, walk away.
So if I work out enough in the gym, I will have super speed, it seems, the ability to float, super spitting power. What exercises were those? Because I want to know what exercise he did for that.
A
Core,
strong core.
core,
That was a
yeah,
strong
core.
core exercise, probably.
Spit a
And a
button
lot of
out.
cardio. That's a lot of cardio
That
for the
is
lung capacity.
definitely, and for him to suck the gold coin into his mouth before anybody sees. One person saw it,
One
maybe.
person saw it, and they barely believed that they saw it after it happened that fast right in front of them. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't just see it.
It's a little outlandish, but like
But
that's the anime, and I'm
that's
totally
the
okay
anime.
with.
Yeah.
If you're okay with it being outlandish like that, I'm okay with him being like this invincible character.
It's just a little silly, you know?
It is a little silly. Another silly moment here was when the puppet turns back into Silva and he almost steps on him, but he doesn't remember that it's Silva because he says, this kid, he was like, why is this kid laying here? And it's like, bro, you just fought him. Like, you don't remember his face. It was really funny.
Yep. And then even he's like, what are you doing? I was your enemy literally not yesterday.
Mhm.
And he's like, if one of us is trouble, then oh, I bit my tongue. I won't spit
Yeah.
it off. It's just like, what are we doing?
What's going on here?
But it is interesting what he says, when one of us is trouble, we're all in trouble, is what he was trying to get out, which is
But
just a very interesting, like, yeah, exactly. Like me, like, even rewatching this, I can guess what he's trying to say with that, but like, I don't really feel like there's much anything else other than his actions from this point forward to showcase it.
yeah, I don't know what that really meant. Um, I don't know if it's supposed to mean something, and maybe that'll mean later because he said it twice. Once in this episode, and I think in another one. I
Mm,
don't know. But if one of us is in trouble, then all of us is in trouble. Like, is that just his thinking as a, us thinking
yeah,
he's a main character guy, like he's the one that cares about everybody? Is that sort of the thing? Possibly.
possibly.
Lang, we find out, has 15 gold coins, and Lang thinks Pure Bloods needs to be in charge. So from before, Wahlberg handed out this minuscule punishment for all the things MASH have done. And he has to go clean out the owl huts. And we get him and Lance doing that for a little bit. Then two Lang guys come to fight Olor, Andrew, and Onsor Shiri, the sixth and seventh Fang. I like these guys' vibe.
Mhm.
Like
I mean, like, the whole
every time I see one of the Magia Lupus, I'm like, bro, I want to be one of them so bad.
yes.
They
For
look so
me,
cool.
like, it's the Magia Lupus and such. For me, it's big, Akatsuki vibes from Naruto, where in Naruto, like, at a certain point, you had, like, the introduction of, oh, I'm forgetting his name, but Itachi and the shark guy that he was there with. So I feel like it's a direct, kind of, like,
Comparison.
there's a word that another word that I'm missing. Homage to like is it Zabuza? Not Zabuza. I'm forgetting the name of the guy, but it's a direct, hey, poke, poke, nudge, nudge to that guy. And
Okay.
then the guy with the shuriken, that's another thing, what that we've seen in Naruto. They throw around the big old shuriken and stuff, and the
Hmm.
shadow clone shuriken, and it's doubling and it's tripling. So I just like those guys show up, and I'm just like, oh, they came from Naruto. They're not here from Magic School. What are you talking about? And I just thought that was really funny.
So they're fighting through the ranks because we have the sixth and seventh Fang. We find out there's seven, so these are the ones at the bottom of Magia Lupus. Lance fights Onsor first, but Mash goes under magic water with Olor because he's a shark. We find out. Spoiler. Lance Lance's battle tactic was really interesting here. It was really funny. Like I think that was fine because they were doing the banter and he was like, "What the fuck?" He just moved like a little shovel,
Hmm.
and he's like, What's going on here?" But it was strategic to move all the little owls out of the way, and they're all eating. I love these little owls. They were just hooting everywhere.
Yeah, I
They're
love the
super
idea
cute.
that yeah, it's like, "Oh, I can't use my super powerful magic because these owls did nothing." And he just hears his little sister's voice, "How dare you?" And he's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't."
And he's literally getting like the they don't show them. They have a hospital wing. They showed that,
Mhm,
but they don't show them how they get healed, like, because these boys are spilling blood.
mhm.
Like Lance, when he was getting hit with the shuriken, he was pretty
He
bloody. Like
he's
he was
pretty
getting
bloody.
beat.
Yeah.
So like, do they have like some sort of resistance that they can just get super bloody? Because I'd be down. I'd be like dead.
I'm sure it's just like, if blood loss occurs, I'm sure there's spells to bring people back from the brink of.
Or magic potions that they can take because this
Yeah.
guy was bloody here.
I'm sure
Uh,
there's literally a potion that's just like, "Hey, drink this and it'll fix your broken bones,
yeah, I guess
and
so.
it'll make them stronger." Something like that.
While all that's happening, Mash becomes the hunter underwater,
The
and
hunter
he's just
becomes the hunted.
yeah, he's just zooming around Shark Boy here, and it's just going super fast, and he can hold his breath. Again, he's just trained. He's just better that way, and he ends up killing him, almost killing him. And we find what comes to pick up the bodies was another Magia Lupus member, and he's faster than Mash? Question mark, because he looked like he was teleporting, which was pretty dope that we have this character show up. And Mash does his super speed thing, just going for the punch, but he moves out of the way. But later on, right at the end, we find out that he wasn't as quick as he thought,
Mhm.
or that Mash was faster than he thought he was going to be and wasn't able to sort of teleport. So we don't know what
Yeah.
this guy's
He
magic
definitely gets
is.
caught off guard because he's like, "I'm here to talk," and then Mash is like as Mash dashes up, yeah, he's like I think there's an audible gasp, I'm pretty sure. He has to zip out of the way.
I like the way this is developing. I'm all in on this story. I'm just so enamored by the different characters that are getting put together. I love Lance, even though he's not my favorite, but like
Mhm.
I love how powerful these other boys are. It's not just like Mash is way up here and everybody's down here, while Finn may be down here, which we
We
haven't
are
really
at Easton
seen.
Academy, which is supposed to be like the most prestigious magic school, like in
True.
the realm. So it's like it makes sense that there's a lot of strong magic users here. But
Yeah.
like you were just saying, like Lemon and Dot, we haven't really seen anything from them to characterize their magic. But I do like
Lemon and
how
Finn.
Lemon and Finn. Yes, sorry, because yeah, I do like how well fleshed out like Dot and Lance get to be as magic users.
And I do love how like each magic user we've seen, whether it's Silva, Olor, Answer, Lance, Dot, it's not confusing. And I really like the way they did it to where maybe it could get repetitive with this one person has this one sort of ability, but it helps if you're going to keep bringing more magic users in,
Exactly.
because it's like, okay, now we got these two boys that are fighting, and it's like, okay, we got to learn what they can do.
Hmm.
But now I know in the back of my head, oh, Lance's power, like I know his power. I'm like, cool, let's see how he uses it. And it helps me stick with it, because I think if everybody was just doing a bunch of new spells every week, I'd be like,
Yeah.
but like I'm hooked. I'm hooked on even though up until now we've only seen Dot use X-Blom a little bit. I'm like, cool. I'm down for his magic. I'm cool to see like how he uses it in different ways. So I like the way they're doing it, where they have the one character that does this sort of magic, and then we introduce new ones that have different kinds of magic.
And I do really like, even with going to back to Silva, it was right.
Yeah.
Silva, yeah, I like how like he has this powerful magic that he shows. He hits Mash with it and stuff, and he's uses it to put his licks in on Dot. But
Hmm.
like uh when Dot was throwing all of his attacks at him, he was able to put up kind of like a little barrier shield,
Hmm.
which like just something as small as that as it might be just kind of shows that like, oh, some magic types are going to be better at like having some utility purpose, like being able to bring up a shield from the ground. Can Dot just generate a shield with his X bombs? I'm sure he can't, but we get to see he has other applications of his attacks magic as well.
Hmm. Hmm. So the mysterious Magilupus character says that Mash is the same as him, and I instantly went, there it is, brother. What I predicted last week. Oh, I was gonna make a video of what I said last week just to bring it back.
Oopsies.
But
But yes, so like it's just that character's introduction, like it's one of those things where like you guessed it, Leo point, there it is. But like for me, I remember the first time I see that happen, the immediate first thoughts in my head is, how is a non-magic user in Lang? Like how do they accept that? If it's all about
mm,
bloodline, like how are you a part of a strong bloodline leading you into Langdorm? I mean, I guess you might just be one of their cronies, but like, what's making you, is it just because they're like, on Mash's level of physical capability? I don't feel like they'd accept Mash whether or not he is the at the level that he is at. I feel like they're
yeah.
like, the second they know he's not from a noble bloodline or that he can't use magic, it's just like no, no matter what, no.
Yeah, maybe this Magilupus again after episode 8, the one we're gonna about to discuss. I still don't know a whole lot more about him, but I'm thinking he has that mask on for a reason, and maybe is playing a part. And he could maybe just say that his magic is some sort of teleportation, because that's how he was using it. So maybe he is just really fast, and that's what he trained to do. And he says that I am from this noble bloodline. Maybe he didn't develop magic powers, but he's like, yo, I can do fast magic or
Gotcha.
whatever. And also because he has his mask on,
Yeah.
we haven't seen his, I don't know if we see
Which
his
is, the
face at
mask
the
is,
end.
yeah, I don't think we do. But the mask is also why it surprised Mash that he did the thing, because it seems as though like when he showed up, Lance also tried to react, but Lance couldn't use his magic. So
Oh
it's
yeah, there was that thing where Lance wasn't able to use magic around him. And it's
which was
like,
why Mash was able to close the distance and try to get a hit in, which is why he was so surprised. He's like, wow, I just turned off your magic and you can do that? Like, oh,
yeah.
he's the same as me.
So a lot of things ain't mathing right now. But we get
It
into
sets
episode
up
8.
interesting questions, in my opinion, for
It
sure.
does, and it makes me want to keep watching. Like it
Hmm.
made me want to
Provide
learn
me
more,
with answers.
especially at the end when he's like, he's the same as me. So I'm like, let's go, episode 8. Mash Bernadette and the Wolves of Magic. What happens in episode 8?
So the same person who avoided Mash's attack is shown to be attacking students from Orchid Dorm as well, stealing their coins. Lance gives Mash his Adler robes before, in the infirmary, everyone is being shown to be suffering from magic loss. Excuse me. The gang goes searching for the reason under the cover of the night, but they discover Lemon to be turned into a puppet. They tail the puppet until they find an underground arena. A member of Lang Dorm approaching and challenging them. This time, Dot taking the person up in a fight, managing to get the upper hand on his opponent and defeating them. Everyone is split up and matched together for a series of fights. Can Adler Dorm defeat their Lang opponents?
This was the episode where I said, I'm in. This episode, best episode so far for me. And
Yes.
it's like not even like, okay, last episode, it had a lot of fighting. That was cool, whatever. But this episode seemed to have a lot of different aspects too that I really liked. And I think I want to get into it. So,
Mhm.
um, first off, rip to Rhodes Emus, who gets destroyed. He's an orca person that gets destroyed
Oh,
at the very beginning. He just get wrecked. So we find out this character also has like some sort of sword, and we see that coming up later. I think they pull out the
Abyssal
sword.
Razor is their name.
Abyss Razor, yes,
Abyss
at
Razor,
the very
yes.
bottom. And we do like sort of a time skip a little bit that they've been in school for a month, and Tom, the captain, as well as a lot of people, like you were saying, are in the infirmary for magic loss. Lemon, this started it. Lemon gives Mash Creamy. You don't have a picture of Creamy here.
Sorry.
Creamy is a little stuffed cream puff, and she wants Smash to have it and sleep with it at night.
And
And
he's like, "Hey, this bow looks a little familiar." And she's like, "Shut up! It's not my bow. Shut up!"
yeah,
Lemon can be a little sus.
she
She can
do
be a
be
little sus. She's got
alluding to some.
some thoughts going on up there where I'm just
Mhm.
like, "Girl,
She was like,
you
"You
do
could have
you,"
it
but
and hold it and think about me, and then when you're in bed alone with it, you can squeeze it." Oh my god! And it's like,
or the
whoa,
last episode where she shows up at their room and she's like, "Oh my goodness, 4 guys and 1 girl? Don't you even think about it, you animals." And it's like,
bro.
"Bro, nobody said anything."
That kill. I was like, "Hey, yo, Lemon, chill." Oh my god, 4 guys and me. Oh Jesus. I like that it's not too much.
It's
I'm
not
okay with
too
it.
much. It's just it's a little sus. It's
It
funny,
is.
but it's like, and it's never like over the top. It's never in the
No.
direction of fan service. It's just dialogue, so I'm
Yeah.
okay with it.
Yeah. And she always has a robe on, so
Yeah,
it's not it hasn't gone that way. So I'm okay
exactly.
with it. Lemon gets mashed creamy, and the gang wanders at night and find Lemon as a puppet. I really love this. I really like these boys, man. This is probably one of my I don't know how many like crews of characters we've seen in anime so far, but like this is getting to be up there. I don't know if they would be ranked number 1, but they're
Mhm,
most likely top 5 for me. I love how they're just chilling. Everybody brings something a little different to the crew in the
exactly.
way they have banter. I love the connection between Finn and how like and Dot,
Mhm.
Lance,
I love
Mash.
Dot and Lance arguing with each other and, like, trying to kick each other out of the room, and Finn's just there like, "Guys, this is my room."
Yeah, and he's like, "You can't be in here. Get out of here. This is not for you." And he's like, "Wait, this is my room. What are y'all what are y'all fighting about?" This episode just had like so much like little banter like that. And I'm like, I love these boys. These boys are so cute.
It's a lot
Uh,
of, yeah, found family energy. They have their little crew. They act like they hate each other, but like even Dot when he went to apologize to Mash, like you can act all tough at this point, but you know you just run a little group of friends.
yeah. I like how they mumble too. Like even in the English stuff, like when things are happening, like when Mash was going underwater, like it got really soft. And I was like, oh, that's a good touch. He was like, oh no, 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 no. Just like super soft. And I was like, oh, this is great.
And then
Or he was going blah 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 blah.
yeah, something like that. And then the shark guy is like, "Weren't you just saying that you can't swim?" It's like you could
Yeah.
hear what he was saying. Okay.
Um Dot loves Lemon. He likes girls, doesn't know how to talk to him though. Mash pries the door open from the floor that they found the secret entrance to somewhere, and he just pries it, and it goes through the castle a comically amount of floors, which was super funny, ridiculous that he used leverage magic or whatever they said, and
Like,
just
oh, he used leverage.
boom, door all the way out of the castle, flies off, insane. The gang goes down to save Lemon, and they found an arena, a duel arena, and Dot challenges first. This guy I thought was interesting. I don't know if we got his name, Mirth. No, 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 no. That's the next guy. I don't know if we got this guy's name. But he has a little squiggly line. I think that was the first time that we've seen one where it's not just super like straight edges. His face is a little squiggly, like a little squiggly line. So I didn't know if that
I think
was
his
like
name's
meant any.
Shuen, but I don't think we ever
Sure.
get it from him.
No. But he has a little
Yeah.
squiggly line on his face instead of the pointy ones that everybody
Mhm.
does. So I was like, oh, interesting. What is this? We get like a little other scene of Wahlberg because he's not there. He's at the Bureau of Magic, and
Mhm.
apparently this is going to come into play later. That 6 death row inmates escaped with the aid of Hecatrus, and
Oh my
Innocent
god.
Zero
Oh
helped
my
them
god.
escape.
It's what's his name? He who shall not be named. Innocent
Hecatrus.
Zero.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know. I wrote down 6 death row inmates escape Hecatrus. Oh, Hecatrus is the place. Like, okay, escape
Like
Hecatrus,
the other place,
Innocent
you know?
Zero, like the other place. uh,
Guantanamo or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, something like that. Innocent Zero has helped them escape. So we have this character, Voldemort character, Innocent Zero, that we only hear about in very short time, and we get this. So, dude, Dot, so fucking hype. Dot blew up his wand, and Dot wins. And I put, hold up, Dot's kind of boss. He put those little traps down, his little X bombs. He's like, don't go in there. But it didn't matter if he didn't go in there. His
'Cause they were
vines
time
went in there.
bombs.
They were time bombs. So he was just
It's a
waiting for
pretty
them to
good
go
bluff.
down.
It's a pretty good bluff.
Oh my God. This is what I mean. The resolve, the banter. Oh, right here.
Yeah,
The
the resolve,
resolve.
the banter. I like when Finn is crying and weeping, and he's like, "Bro, we haven't even started.
Yeah.
Think about how cool it would be if we won." And it's just like, yeah, that's it right there. That's such main character energy. Like, just think about how cool it'd be if. Think about how cool it'd be if.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's so good, but then just before that, he was mad at this guy striking a pose and how good he looks, and he's mad at guys that look good because they get everything so easy, and they get girls so easy, and he can't, and he's not good looking, and he's not suave like some of these guys, so it fuels him, and I'm like, fuck it, bro, whatever fuels you,
Fuck it, we
fucking go
ball.
crazy. So right now, Dot Barrett, favorite character of the show right now, he's great. Love him as Magic. And like they could have easily just made him like bad at magic and just the dumb character. And like we know Finn, we haven't seen Finn use magic yet, I don't think. But we could have made him dot lose, like dot lose, and then we get Lance up or something, and Dot's just like,
We've
oh
already seen
man.
Dot lose though, so I like that Dot gets like his time because like again, it also kind of like subtly can demonstrate the fact that like Dot had a really bad matchup against Silva,
That's
like
true.
in genuine nature.
And
But these vines and such, like he was putting up a fight. He was getting a few hits in on himself, but he was able to quickly devise a plan and showcase the fact that like, hey, give me the right matchup, and I can definitely come out being the winner.
and I do like that aspect of it because it's a lot like video games or like turn-based games where they have the power tree
Properties.
or the power property circle, or like Pokemon, if y'all know Pokemon, where blue gets red, red gets green, green gets blue, and those are what they're good against. And then they often have like a light or dark yellow and
Sure, sure,
purple
sure.
sometimes that do each other. But like this was like you're saying, even though most of it was just him taking taking hits from Silva. They did kind of battle a little bit, but it was just a bad matchup. And against somebody like this, who to Dot's red, he was green, fire and vine
Exactly,
green, sort of
exactly,
like that. So
exactly that.
he does have an advantage there. And I really like the way they did it. They did showcase him, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. He
And
can
again,
do it.
yeah, it reminds us that like, Mash doesn't have to be like even though Mash is always going to be solving his problems with his muscles, like it shows that like we don't need Mash to solve all the problems,
No,
which I think is refreshing because if you had Mash being the person that had to step in to deal with things every time, I feel like it would get a little tired.
definitely. And I think I like the way that Lance stepped up in the last episode. So like that while Mash did single-handedly take down somebody, we
Mhm.
did focus a lot on Lance
Yeah.
fighting that battle, taking his hits. And yeah, I totally agree that if like I was saying in the first episode where we talked about it, where if this is just going to be Mash just going crazy, kind of like in some of the other animes we've seen where there's just a super overpowered character, I know that would get annoying and that would be like, this is boring. But like they're showing the other people there and they're showing their battles and them taking hits. And I'm like so cool with that. Because Dot did, if he didn't lay down or think about his move, he would have been done. Like he was gonna die there or lose or whatever.
Mhm.
They go into quicksand and Lance fights Magilupus Mirth Metal, who is the third Fang. Finn and Dot have to fight Love Cute and Milo Genius, who are the fourth and fifth Fang. And then Mash falls down to fight Abyss Razor, who is second Fang. And he knows that Mash can't use magic.
What?
So
What are you talking? Ma- Mash can use magic. What are you talking about?
he is at the magic school. Yeah, you're right.
Why else would I be at magic school? If I could use magic.
Again, another great cliffhangers to leave off of. We're gonna do some battles. We got some new characters with new magics we can get into. Mash fighting the number two Fang here, and it's heating up because we're already on episode 9. Season 1's already almost done. Like we gotta get going here. We gotta get going through these Magilupus. So I'm super about this anime. I
Yeah.
really do like it. I know for me the comedy is a little hit or miss, a little bit more hits than misses, but there are some where I'm just like, okay,
Mhm.
let's go. But then it just instantly brings me back with the next episode or the next segment or something where it's like, ooh, big action, or ooh, I get to see these characters showcase themselves. And I'm also curious to see how Finn's magic looks or what Finn
Yep.
does.
That's one of the biggest things going into these. I'm just thinking, what's gonna be the thing with Finn? How is he gonna escape from this? Because like, is Dot gonna have to carry him? Is he gonna
Mm-hmm.
literally have to carry this matchup, or is Finn gonna be able to come in at the last second with something to, save the day and turn the fight around? What's it gonna be? Because they got paired up for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to like for me it's like everything up to this point is just kind of like you said it's all the oh I like this gang, I like this their interactions, I like how fun it feels, and then boom, Lemon's turned into a puppet, and then from there it's just like boom, we're in it. There are immediately stakes. We have one of the core characters that we've come to get to know. They're obviously been taken by Lang because we've already seen that they can turn people into puppets. So why is Lang doing that? We need to go stop them. We're separated, and now we have a like kind of like you could almost call it a tournament arc, but all of the fights are going to be happening at simultaneously. So it
Yes.
just throws you right into this with that setup, and like yeah, by now, if you aren't sold, I feel like that like just not for you. And that's okay. But this gets me excited, setups like this, because it's just so much potential.
I was, yeah, I was in the middle. I was thinking this was a good anime, but I think the introduction of Dot Barrett um changed the dynamic a little bit. Now we have another character who's token main character vibes. and now we get the missing piece to this little crew, and I just really like how they all interact. And the magic part is great. The world building is really interesting as we get some stuff from Wahlberg outside of the school, as we get more information about coins or the different lang or the different houses, dorms. I'm really in it. So after episode 5, I think is where I got super into it. And then 8 just was like, yes, this is an anime. This is good. This is my stuff. But next week, we're going to be talking about episode 9 through 12. We're going to finish the entire first season, 9 through 12. Watch episodes 9 through 12 of MASHLE, Magic and Muscles by next Wednesday. And I'll be posting a link in the Discord if you want to rate the anime. If you watched it all the way through with us, I'll be posting a link in the Discord where you can vote and give us your thoughts. Because next week we're going to finish MASHLE and then we're going to move on to one of these anime. We have a ton of anime here. Did Bubsy give us another one? I think I got to add it.
You're right.
Oof, forgot what it was.
I think he still needs to give it to us.
Because he said, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
And then we already had that. And then he didn't give us another one, I think.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so we got to get another one for Bubsy to be put in there. But if you have an anime that you would like for us to watch this season, a $5 super chat on YouTube or 500 bits on Twitch is how you do it. And we'll be rating it and we'll be putting MASHLE somewhere here. Where will MASHLE go? We have no clue. Matt,
somewhere.
Definitely. Matt, when you're not muscling or magic, where can they find you?
You can follow me on my socials at it's Matt_Galley, Twitter and Instagram, or you can follow me on my YouTube, just Matt_Galley. Jules, when we're not here discussing cream puffs and calories, where can the people find you?
Ooh, I like that one. You can find me on JulesTheHuman at JulesTheHuman on all social media. I've been posting on Instagram. If you want to follow me there, I talk about wrestling on Twitter, and on my YouTube channel is where you can find these live podcasts. So hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. I did a post today, community post on YouTube, just letting everybody know about what's going on, how I've just been focusing on me and my life away from the computer, and it is so much less stressful. So if you want to look into all that stuff on my community post on this YouTube channel, just saying that I won't be making any other content other than the podcast for a little while, for the foreseeable future. Well, who knows? It could change. But you can check out this podcast on my YouTube channel, Jules the Human, every Wednesday. Then on Fridays, we post it on Spotify. So if you want to follow and watch while you're at the gym or on the way to work, Spotify, the Jules and Matt Anime Hour, if you can't watch live. And we also have a Anime Hour Pod YouTube channel just for the VODs. And we post them there at Anime Hour Pod on YouTube, and we've been posting shorts and stuff. We post shorts first on that, and then it goes to like the YouTube channel and the other social medias and stuff. So go check all that stuff out. Thank you so much for watching. Watch episode 9 through 12 of MASHLE, Magic and Muscles, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.